The fourth episode of Loki Season 2 is light on the action, but great on building up hype for the next two episodes, which nobody has seen, and also adding a lot of pressure in what's to come. A lot happens in this one, so let's go over it. As always, audio commentary tomorrow. Yes, we're going to have a lot to say about this, so we're excited to do it. But let's get into this episode. So, there's a lot of interesting twists and turns in this one that I was not expecting. For example, we previously saw Miss Minute's army that was commanded by Renslayer to go, start pruning everything, right? And you figured maybe they're gonna, factor into everything going forward. Spoiler alert, they don't. They literally get crushed. Like, they get thrown into that machine by a traitorous Zaniac, and he agrees, yeah, I'll work with Renslayer, but these guys are still loyal to the whole idea, not you. And yeah, they just straight up die off. Also, Renslayer is killed, so that happens. A whole lot happens in this episode, such as seeing the events that we saw in the first episode, and how Sylvie was in the elevator. We now know how. And we also see Loki get pruned right then and there. But it's the previous Loki, not the one that we see that we're currently following, that started in this episode and this series. Yeah, look, it's all confusing. It's all time. Like, this episode kind of was all over the place for a good reason. Once you watch it, structurally makes sense. But talking about it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, obviously, because I sound like a lunatic. Now, saying that, there's a couple more things in here that are also absolutely crazy and will make anybody sound like a lunatic. One of them is the idea of what came first. Did OB create the manual and then send it back through time the way we saw, where it ends up in the hands of Victor Timely? Or did Victor Timely come up with these ideas that influenced OB, and then it's all in here? Like, they play around with a lot of crazy things in this that I really like. And again, it's a lot of like out there science fiction stuff, which is great. The one thing that really, to me, about this work was just putting the pressure and showing how everybody is almost losing it. They all want to figure everything out and just set things into, how they perceive they should be. But the one thing I want to talk about that kicks off all of this, and this was revealed at the beginning of it, but I saved it for last, and that's the revelation to Renslayer that she helped and won the war for Kang. And he did, in fact, wipe her mind and everybody else's. And that's when he started that whole idea of wipe the mind of everybody. And he actually had a Order 66 style program that Miss Minute executed on everybody, which I think, again, will be important going forward, because she knows she can't trust, anybody at this point, because Renslayer can't trust anybody. She should just now go into business for herself. And maybe that's what's going to happen next, if there is a next, which I'll talk about in the next video.